saw a TikTok yesterday and it made me really start to think, because this is actually something I talked about very recently in a video. In the TikTok, she was talking about how we lack authenticity when it comes to content creators, and it seems like everybody's kind of copy and paste, very cookie cutter. There's an algorithm that we kind of have to follow if we want to find success in content creation. And she was talking about how she feels like people are just missing something when it comes to content. And it's that relatability. It's being able to feel like you're talking to a friend or you're on FaceTime with a friend when you're watching their videos. And I feel like I see those comments all the time when people are just telling random stories or they're getting ready for a date and the comments are full of like, I feel like we're on FaceTime. And I've received those comments a million times. I feel like one thing I know for sure when it comes to my content is that I have a very good relationship with my audience. And I have, honestly, an incredibly loyal audience. I know a lot of you have been watching me since I started YouTube. And I think a big reason that I have that is because I've always been very unapologetically myself. I've always shared the good and the bad with you guys, a lot of the bad. I've talked about mental health, I've talked about the struggles that I've faced, and I think that that allows people to feel connected to me. And I know for me personally, I feel very connected to my audience as well, because I see your guys' DMs and I see the stories that you tell me and I see the sweet fucking shit that you have to say to me, and I love it and it makes me cry. Like, you guys don't even understand. I don't respond to a lot of DMs, and honestly I don't really read my comments, which is something I've talked about before because the negative ones do impact me. But I get the sweetest messages, and I don't know, this girl was basically just talking about how a lot of content creators we see nowadays, the bigger content creators who are very successful and make a bunch of money, are very cookie cutter, and we don't really get to see their personality shine through. I don't know if I'm repeating myself at all, I'm just kind of rambling. This is going to be a rambly video if you haven't been able to tell, but I thought it was kind of crazy because I talked about this in a very recent video. It had to have been just a couple weeks ago. I think it was at the end of a TikTok video maybe, but I was talking about how I needed to start doing things differently because and this is where I'm like, I just don't even feel right saying this because everyone defines success differently, and I think that I am successful when it comes to social media, mainly because I'm so proud of the audience and like the community we've created. I say we because this is not just me, it's all of you guys too. But when it comes to like the grand scheme of YouTube, when we're talking about like a analytical sense, I'm not very successful, and I never really have been. I've never really made like a ton of money on YouTube. I've had like one really big month and that was it. And I've had 2 videos that like have reached 1 million views, and I've uploaded hundreds of videos. And here's my thing. I have never wanted to be a huge YouTuber. I still don't, because that scares me to death. And I already can't handle some of like the negative critiques I get. And I think the bigger you get, the more negative, attention, blah, blah, blah. I love what I've created, and if I could like live the rest of my life just doing this with you guys, I would love that so very much. And keep like gaining people who just like me for me, and people who are so supportive and loving. And I don't know, if I could just do that for the rest of my life, I would love to do that. I don't want to gain like a huge audience of weirdos, I don't know, and like hateful ass people. I don't want that. But I was talking about in that video, basically, that I needed to start structuring my videos differently, and I needed to start doing things differently if I wanted this to be something that lasts. And I don't know, there's just a huge part of me that ever since I did that, and ever since I have started making changes, I just want to be myself, and I just want to talk, and I just want to like ramble and say stupid shit. And like, I don't know why I'm like literally getting emotional right now. What the hell is going on? I don't know why I'm crying. I wasn't even planning on filming this video. This was like so random. Anyways, okay. Didn't realize how emotionally invested I was in this topic. Social media is an outlet for me to be creative and to share the things that I find interesting and to be myself and to talk about my life. And taking out a part of that, a huge part of that, would be like talking about my life and rambling. Okay, Rumble just jumped on the desk. Rumble, I'm crying and trying to talk. You can't see him. He's coming over though. There's a Gumby. Being able to ramble and talk about my life and tell you guys the stupid shit that happens to me. Like, I literally had something happen to me the other day, and God, why am I getting so upset right now? I like had something stupid happen to me the other day, and I like wanted to tell you guys so badly. Why am I crying? So dumb. I'm gonna like punch myself editing this video. I'm gonna be like, you're such a big baby, but I am a very sensitive big baby. Okay, like, give me a second to fucking compose myself, I guess. I had something really stupid happen to me the other day, and like all I wanted to do was like run on YouTube and tell you guys about it. Sorry that my camera is shaking. Rumble was on my desk, whatever. I need to like say this while I fucking can. All I wanted to do was like tell you guys about it, but then I was like, oh wait, I can't. Because I need to change the way I do my videos and I can't ramble anymore. Because it like affects my analytics, and like that's so dumb. I'm sorry, that's so dumb. And I was like kind of in that headspace for like a couple months where I was like, I need to change the way I do things. I'm gonna be on top of this. I'm gonna try to grow my channel. I don't care. If I'm being completely honest, like I don't care. I would much rather have 5,000 views on a video and fully be myself and like enjoy what I'm doing than get like 1 million views and it just be like some clickbaity bullshit. I don't know, like I don't know why I'm upset. This sucks. When I started filming this video, I did not expect to cry. I was not emotional thinking about like I thought about filming this video within the last 20 minutes, and I've been filming for 10 minutes, and I sat here for like 5-ish minutes, and then I turned my camera on, and then I was like, how do I start this video? Like, what do I talk about? Like, I need to like think of things to talk about. But like, that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of stuff I don't want to do. I don't want to read off a script, and I don't want to be another cookie cutter YouTuber with no personality. I want to be authentic and relatable, and Rumble's using the litter box now. Like, okay. So I literally just started talking. Like, and I love doing that. If I'm being completely honest, I love talking. That's why I do YouTube for a living, kind of. I can barely fucking survive, but you know what? I'm gonna keep doing it because I love doing it. And I love talking to you guys, and I love being myself, and I love you guys, like, so much. And I saw somebody comment, because I don't read my comments, but sometimes I accidentally do, like if I'm on my like dashboard, and somebody was like, I miss your rambles. And it was like, it like broke my heart, because I feel like, god damn it. I think it just reminded me that the reason I do have such a loyal audience, and the reason people still watch me, is because of me. And removing that from my content is only going to hurt me. And I don't want to remove it. Weems just came down here because he's like my comfort cat, and he probably heard that I was crying. Oh my god, I did not realize how much this was affecting me. I genuinely had no idea that this would happen. I'm so serious. This was not supposed to be a video of me crying. This is kind of embarrassing. Oh my god, I'm really crying too, really bad. Okay, I did my makeup and everything, stop. Anyways, I think removing that part of my content, which is what brings people back to my channel that have been watching me for fucking 7, 8, 9, 10 years, removing that from my channel is going to hurt the people that I care about the most. And I think that's why I'm upset, because I can't believe I didn't think about that, before this moment. I feel sometimes people just watch the scary video to get to my rambles at the end, because they just want to hear about stupid stuff that I've done and stupid things that have happened to me. I literally have a stupid story, like I said, that I want to tell you, and I'm going to tell you about it. I'm maybe I should tell it now to break up the fucking tears, because it'll probably make me laugh. So let's talk about that really quick. The other day, I got dressed, and I thought I was looking so cute. Now Weems is using the litter box. You guys, this is a horrible time to be doing this. I got dressed. I thought I looked so cute. I was wearing this I don't know what the word is, monochromatic, I don't know, yellow outfit. I was wearing a yellow tank top with these yellow shorts that I thrifted, and I thought I looked so cute. My boyfriend literally came home, told me I looked like a ray of sunshine, and I was feeling myself, and I filmed a video that morning but you could only see my top, obviously, and I ended up going to the post office because I had to ship a couple things, and then I went to Goodwill, as I do, and I get home, and I walk past the mirror, and here's my thing. I swear to God I looked in the mirror before this moment, because I always do when I put on an outfit. I go check in the mirror to see if I like the outfit, whatever. Don't know how I did not notice. I walk past the mirror, and I do a double take because I'm like, there's no way I saw that right. My pants were completely and utterly see-through. My little yellow shorts, my cute little yellow shorts, I was wearing these like dark gray boy short underwear. Sorry if that's like TMI, don't care. Yeah, you could fully see them and make them out. It was like, I've never seen such see-through shorts in my life. And the fact that I was wearing like darker underwear, it was, oh my God, you guys. I was cracking up. I thought it was the most insane thing I've ever done personally, because like I said, I swear I looked in the mirror. So I don't know how I didn't notice, because I am almost positive that I had the thought I should check and make sure my shorts aren't see-through, because I thrifted them, but they were Shein. So I was like, you know, they're not going to be the best quality. I should make sure, because they were like a pale yellow. I should make sure they're not see-through. I swear I looked in the mirror, and I guess I just didn't examine enough. I don't know if like I thought like I should look, and then when I did look, the thought was gone that they might be see-through. Sorry. So then I wasn't paying attention. They were so see-through. I'm like, how did I not? I just am so lost on how I didn't notice at all, because it wasn't a little see-through. They were fully transparent. I mean, honestly. And I went to the post office, and the post person, I don't know what they're called, as I'm walking away, they're probably like, damn, oh my God. And you didn't tell me, girl. Like, and I gotta see her again today. Oh my God. And then me at Goodwill, you guys don't even want to see me at Goodwill, because I am digging, bending over, digging through shit. Yeah, everyone saw my underwear. Everyone. And I was there for like an hour minimum. And then checking out, like I was in line for like 10 minutes. It was honestly a really long line for like no reason. But everyone behind me in that line got a good look at my underwear. And you know what? I don't care, if I'm being completely honest. If I would have been aware of the fact, like let's say I was at Goodwill and walked past a mirror and that's when I found out, I would have been anxious. I would have been like, oh my God. And I would have left. I probably wouldn't have even purchased the items that I had in my cart. Knowing after the fact, what am I gonna do about it? I don't really care that much. I don't really get embarrassed that easily. If I was like out in public and it was brought to my attention, I don't know, I would probably be a little bit embarrassed, but at the same time, what am I gonna do? You know, go buy a pair of sweatpants and put them on? Like, it's not that deep. It's just not. And it's like I was wearing boy shorts. Nobody could actually see anything. But the thing is, I got home from those errands, and then my boyfriend comes home for lunch. So I'm already home. After I've been in public like this, I'm still wearing the shorts. My boyfriend comes home for lunch, doesn't notice either, doesn't say anything. I'm sitting down, to be fair. I sat down for like a majority of the time. But I did stand up at certain points. I like got up and went and got a drink so he could like see my back. And the back was like, oh my God. And he didn't even notice. So hopefully nobody else did, I guess. I don't know. But I guarantee you somebody noticed those fluorescent lights in Goodwill. Oh, my underwear was shining through. Spotlight. But I texted him a picture. I took a picture in my mirror, which I'm not going to show you because I think that's insane. I took a picture of like my back because like I said, the back was like, oh my God. But I sent it to him, I go, you didn't want to tell me? And he goes, you were sitting down, I did not notice. And then I call my sister and I go, I just made a horrible realization. And she's like, what? And I show her and I was in tears, you guys. Good tears. I was in tears because I was flabbergasted is the only word that comes to mind. And okay, so that happened to me a couple days ago. And like, one of my first thoughts was, I'm gonna put this at the end of a video. This is hilarious and I need to tell everyone. But then the second thought that came to mind was, oh, well, you can't do that anymore. And I'm just like, why not? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so my views drop a little bit when it gets to the end of my video. Do I care? Do I give a single fuck? Like, I'm gonna get punished for that on YouTube. With the algorithm, I do get punished for that. But at the same time, I just don't care. I think it's actually insane the way the algorithm works. And do I fully understand it? No. But I think it's crazy that we're punished for something so stupid and so small. And I just feel like I'm gonna make videos the way that I want to make videos, because what is the point if I'm not? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of this? How is it an outlet for me if I am just molding myself to the algorithm, I guess? I don't know. I was like sitting here for like 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, that's insane, 10 seconds, trying to think of like how to word that. But I feel like I am not somebody who wants to have to follow these strict guidelines and script out my videos and have these fake reactions and do all this fake shit. I've never done that, and I never will. And there were a couple weeks there, maybe 2 months, I honestly don't know how long I've been trying this like new video format. It's not vastly different from what I was doing before. I'm still doing the scary stories and stuff, which I love, but like taking out some of my personality to like appease YouTube is not something that I am willing to do, I guess. I don't know. I was willing because I did it for a couple weeks. I'm done with that. Like, I'm breaking so fast, I know, but I'm like thinking about like, what I said before about like having such a loyal and amazing audience, and then taking away the one thing that makes my audience loyal and love me. What am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? That just doesn't feel right, which is why I was so emotional before. It feels so like against who I am as a person. I just have always wanted to be authentically me, and I've always just told stupid stories. That's literally how I started my channel, and I've always done that. And I don't want to not do that, because I don't want to not be me, and I don't want to be liked for any reason other than I am myself. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that makes sense. Like, I don't want to just have a bunch of fucking bots watching my channel because I tell scary stories and they don't actually care about me. I want to be like, okay, I was gonna say I want to be cared about. That like sounds kind of insane. I don't know. I want people to like me for me is like essentially what I'm trying to say. I want people to like my videos because they like me as a person. I don't want to just be another channel who's doing the scary stuff and people only like my videos because there's like a scary story in it. I want people to be like, oh my gosh, Courtney uploaded. I don't want people to be like, oh, this sounds interesting. I want it to be like, oh, I love her. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And that's not to say I'm like the most likable, lovable person in the world. Like, obviously I know that. There are going to be a lot of people who don't like me and people who think I'm annoying. Trust me, I know. And that's fine. You don't have to watch my videos. If you don't like me talking and you don't like my opinion on things, or you don't like me rambling about being basically paintless at Goodwill, I don't care. I don't care. Why would I want to appease those people? I've gotten in fights in my comments before about people being like, shut the fuck up, and I'm like, you don't have to watch my video. Because this is my channel, first of all. First and foremost, this is my channel. I'm allowed to do whatever I want, and I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to talk, and I'm going to be dumb, and I'm going to be silly and burp, and but why am I like why am I don't know. I'm like, why am I I don't know how to word this. It's like I'm setting aside my own wants and honestly needs for people who don't matter to me as like much as the people who love me for who I am, and the people who come back to my channel every single week to hear me talk about my life. If you want to find someone who's just gonna read a story and have nothing behind it, there are 5 bajillion channels on YouTube that you can go to. My channel is the only channel with me, and it's uniquely that, and I love that. And I don't want to give that up, even if it means that this can't be sustainable for me. Like, that's the part that's like scary. I don't know what comes after this, you know what I mean? Like, I will always want to make videos. I love talking, and I think it's so much fun, and I love reading you guys' stories, and I love reading your stories, but at a certain point, like, I do have to consider you know, what is next? Like, when this is not something that I can survive off of, what am I going to do? And that's the part that's really scary, and I think I got really scared about that, so that was why I thought I had to make these changes. And I don't know, it's like, there's no winning in my situation, it feels like, because, okay, either I change my entire channel and potentially gain success off of that because I'm molding myself to what the algorithm wants, but I lose myself in that, and I lose my outlet. Or I continue doing what I want to do, and then this isn't like livable anymore. Like I can't live off of this anymore. And I don't know, like, it's so hard because the easy choice is like, okay, get a fucking job. And I've been doing so many things. I work, you guys, I work nonstop. Whether it's YouTube, filming, editing, you know, planning out videos, whatever, or I'm doing Depop. I'm taking pictures of stuff. I'm, you know, packaging things. I'm like listing shit, whatever. I'm going to Goodwill to find the stuff. I'm making stuff for Petal and Clover. I'm thrifting stuff to make for Petal and Clover. I'm packaging stuff for that. I'm going to my booth that I have, you know, and like restocking, whatever. I work 24/7 and I don't even hate it. Like, I love doing stuff for Depop and Etsy. I think it's so much fun. Obviously, those are my hobbies as well, and I make money off of them. So, you know, it's like a win-win in that situation. It's still not enough to survive on. On top of YouTube right now, I can survive. You know what I mean? My little side hustles and YouTube are allowing me to survive. But for how long is the question? You know what I mean? That's the part that gets scary. And that's where I felt like I had to take some sort of action to change the way I'm doing YouTube so that this can be like a more long-term option for me. And I don't know. I guess I just don't really know what I'm going to do from here. I am most definitely not going to completely change myself and what I want to do and lose my outlet, you know, for talking and being me and sharing things that have happened in my life. I'm not going to lose that. I don't think I can afford to lose that mentally, like my mental health wise. Financially, I can't really. Financially, I cannot afford to continue the way I'm continuing on YouTube. However, mentally, what the fuck? Mentally, I cannot afford to lose this outlet and lose the thing that I love and lose the people that I love and care about so deeply. You guys, I can't afford to lose that mentally, and I've always cared way more about my mental health than finances. This is like such an insane way to put this. I don't know where this came from. Anyways, I care way more about my mental health, and I've always figured it out. You know what I mean? Like, I've always just been okay. And I've always had something to fall back on. I've always made it work, and I'm gonna make this work. And I want to keep doing this, and I just want to be me, and I just want to talk to you guys like so badly. Sorry. Oh my god, I'm like gonna cry again. I like love you guys so much. If you can't tell. I like don't want to lose you guys. Why do I feel like I'm like going through a breakup right now? Like, you guys are like mad at me and you're leaving me. Like, that's not happening. It's fine. But I hope that like if anybody did stop watching me because I said that I was like not gonna ramble anymore, I don't know. Obviously it's like deeper than that, but if like I hope that if anybody did for some reason like decide they weren't gonna watch me anymore because like they watched me for me and I wasn't gonna be me anymore, whatever, I hope they see this video and I hope they come back because I love you and I miss you. Bah! Weems is using the litter box again. I've been filming for a long time, and half of it has been me crying and trying to like compose myself. I think that I've said like all that I wanted to say and more. This was not how I expected this video to go at all, you guys. Like, this is I'm gonna hate editing this video because I am an ugly crier, and I'm gonna cut out most of that because you guys don't need to see clips of me in silence crying. That would be insane. Like, I'm all about like being raw and shit, but that's too far. I hope that what I was trying to say in this video made sense. I was definitely speaking out of emotion, like 99% of this video. I try to have like a good balance of like logic and emotion when I'm talking about stuff, because sometimes things don't make sense when I just purely speak out of emotion. And honestly, I can't even remember everything that I said. And I know that some of the things I was saying, I was having a really hard time trying to like put my words into thoughts. Put my thoughts into words. Exactly. I was having a really hard time putting my thoughts into words. So I hope that this came across how I wanted it to. But how I wanted it to was completely different than how this ended up going. So we'll see when I edit, I guess. I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea what to expect from this video. I just want you guys to know that I love you so deeply, and I just want to be myself. And I've said that a bajillion times, and I feel like I'm just gonna keep repeating myself if I don't just end this video. I'm gonna keep doing things the way that I want to do things, and I'm going to just ignore the fact that that might be my downfall. You know, it's fine. Like, I would much rather have to move on from this knowing that I stayed true to myself and I tried my hardest, you know, than completely eliminating who I am and the things that I love and losing my personality in all of this and just forming or molding myself to what I think will be successful. I don't want to do that. I would much rather have to just, you know, move on from this. I don't want to lose myself in all of this, and I refuse to allow myself to do that. So I hope that that brings you some like relief in knowing that like I'm not going to change the way that I do things or the way that I am. I don't want to cater myself to a new audience when I have the most loyal, loving, amazing community I could possibly ask for. And I already have that. So what am I doing? Who am I trying to gain? You know what I mean? Okay. I need to shut the fuck up. I love you guys a lot. A lot. I don't even think I said hey y'all in this video, but hey y'all. I'm gonna go fix my makeup. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.